welcome to the round tables of the Champs-Élysées Film Festival, the producers today. So today with us we have Jenner Furst for Welcome to Leith. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
And Rachel Wother for Sticking Heaven. Welcome.
Thank you.
How did you come to production? Was it a childhood dream? Was it something that you discovered along the way? What made you fall into cinema?
That is a hard first question.
Yeah.
I guess I always wanted to work in movies and TV, just because I felt like that shaped our culture. I was like really obsessed with TV when I was a kid, so I always knew I wanted to be on the other side, making culture for other people.
Yeah.
Pretty basic.
I was a TV addict growing up. I saw movies all day. My parents were just enough neglectful that they put a television in my room, so I watched it all day. And I started making films in my early teens, and I found my way into the business as an editor. And through editing, I was able to start producing and directing. The role of a producer is really to make things happen.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, directors, have to focus on so many different moving parts. And I know at least, I've also done fiction, and the producer's really there to kind of just make things happen. And in a documentary, it's the same way. You got to get them back out there, or you got to make sure that they're safe, or you got to make sure that they're eating lunch, or that they're taking a shower, or whatever it is. Because, it's hard to direct, and it's hard to deal with people, and producers have that just enough distance from that component of it to actually see the forest of the trees and put the pieces together.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course. Producing really is very creative, because the director is like, oh, I want a cow on the screen, and then I get to be like, what kind of cow is it? Where do I get the cow from? Where should we put that cow? So there's a lot of creative decisions. There's no cow in my movie.
But I mean, if it was a dairy cow, they wanted a dairy cow, and you had to get like a steak cow or something. That's like a producer decision. I think there's a lot of things that go into a great documentary. Access, photography, how it's rendered, the sensibilities of the directors, the relationships with the subjects. But editing is really where a documentary comes together. And I've edited many things and really felt that my role could be helpful, not to just stick up for them and be their champion and be their watchdog and be the person fighting for them, but also to be able to look at every single cut of the film and offer suggestive criticism to make the narrative fall into where it needed to be. Mike and Chris are two very talented editors in their own right, and I was just amazed and honored to work with them, because they were so focused and they kept such a schedule, and that's not always the case with directors who are also editing their own work. So
how would you describe today's conditions for indie productions in the US?
Well, I think it's a lot easier to get high production value tech-wise on your film, and because there are so many camera options, and you really don't need lights anymore. You can shoot, super fast lenses, and it's not that expensive. However, that's not what goes into production value.
Yeah.
It's still very difficult to get other things you would need to make a film look really expensive. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree. I mean, I think it still comes down to the talent of the filmmakers. I think that you have the ability to create a lot more happy accidents now with digital filmmaking, where you can roll and roll and roll, but it's also harder to make definitive decisions about what the film's going to be, because you can just keep editing it, you can just keep rolling, and I think that's beautiful and also challenging.
And did you have any late stage financiers come in on board and give you notes on the final product?
We were very lucky that the very generous people who funded our film gave us total free rein. And we have a couple of great investors who we were able to come back to when the movie was almost done. And then we also got a little bit of money from the distributor, without which we would not have been able to finish the movie.
Right.
So it came just in time.
What can festivals like the Champs-Élysées Film Festival do for bring to a film like yours?
Oh, it's exposure and press, absolutely. Especially my film, at the level we're at, we have absolutely no marketing budget, exactly $0. So the fact that a whole new group of people in Europe get to see it, and at Champs-Élysées, there's actually their buyers come here and stuff like that. It's a really great opportunity for us. So.
I think I would agree. I would say that exposure is the biggest thing, especially when you're in a new market and a new language, a new community of people seeing the film for the first time.
It's also a blast, and it's a great way to meet other filmmakers. I've never
Yeah.
really met Jenner just randomly in Brooklyn, even though
Now we're on TV together.
Yeah, I guess.
So what would be your next project after this one?
Can I say? Can I not say?
Can you tease a bit, maybe?
You know, there's we have a lot of projects in development. I have a feature that I'm trying to release this fall called Houses, and a lot of my energy is going into getting that film out there. It's sort of shot the exact same way that Rachel shot Stinking Heaven, improv, outlined.
It's the worst. Why would you do that on purpose? I'm never doing
that
again.
That's my second feature. My first feature, Dirty Old Town, was also structured improv and real people and things like that. But I got a chance to work with some wonderful actors this time around.
You?
I am producing another feature by Angeline Gergasin, which we're shooting in the Philippines next winter.
That's awesome.
I'm also directing a comedy pilot, which has some of the actors from Stinking Heaven, and they are a comedy dance troupe called Cocoon. We're doing a pilot.
So for TV?
For TV.
For TV.
Yeah.
Do you think that today's cinema can capture dreams? And this is a very open question. You can interpret it however you want.
I definitely think that today's cinema can capture dreams. I think that it's become, special effects and things like this have become so heightened that you can pretty much render any environment that you want. But back to your original question about digital filmmaking, and I think it all does still come down to talent and the mind and the energy and the inventiveness of the creator behind the work.
Sure, I agree with that. And I think that because cameras are cheaper and anybody can pick it up, it really does, you really can, if you don't see yourself on TV or in movies, you can just take the camera and actually put yourself in your own movie and say, like, this is what we should be watching, me or my friends or whatever. Yeah. So it really gives individuals the power to like make their own piece and share it with the world, which is pretty cool. And it's, you know, it's not always great, but nothing on TV is great. Nothing in movies aren't great. So, but sometimes it is. Sometimes somebody who wouldn't have had a voice before now can be broadcast.
And I think things can happen a lot quicker too now. So if you do that, you put yourself on the camera, you know, and people start responding. We live in a very viral culture. You can be a celebrity in a matter of, you know, a month. And then what do you do with it?
Then what do you do with it?
Yeah. And then what? No.
And then what? Perfect. Well, thank you very much for answering our questions, and have a great time here at the festival, and best of luck with the screenings.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.